Well, hey y'all, Backwoods Modeler here. Welcome to my workshop. So, how many of you guys out there have bought a truck that you get at home and you tear it apart and you tear it out of the package and you find out the bed's crooked? And here we go with these black trucks again, guys. I'm sorry. But I got a red one here to show you too. This is not real bad, but you can tell that the bottom of the bed and the top of the bed, there's definitely a gap difference. See if it's a little easier to see on this side. No, this side actually isn't as bad. But anyway, it makes me mad when I get these trucks and they're tweaked and you got to tweak them. And this one here, let me give you a small backstory on this one. I've had this truck for several months. It was a Black Bandit version, or it is a Black Bandit version. And I got it home and I opened it up. And first thing I noticed, it was just completely covered in oil, grease, whatever you want to call it. And it was just extremely slimy. You couldn't touch it without getting oil and stuff all over your fingers. And as you can see, it was already missing a mirror. Can you tell that the passenger side of the bumper sticks out further than the driver's side? Maybe he's wrecked it already. I don't know, but it came out of the package that way. It's got a small scratch on the driver's side window there, door window. Like I said, it was just completely covered in grease and it ticked me off, so I just chucked it in a box and it's been there ever since. So I pulled it out just today and cleaned it all the oil and grease off of it. I actually had to wash it to get the stuff off of it. It's been in a box so long, it was covered in dust, and whoa, boy, it looked bad. So I washed it up, got it all clean. Thought I'd show you guys today how I straighten the chassis, or the beds. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do it. This one has a plastic bottom, so there is an alternative on how to do this. But it all depends on, are you prepared for the problems that may arise if this goes wrong. What I'm trying to say here is sometimes when they're tweaked this way and they got a plastic bottom, I cheat and I'll put my finger one up here, one back here, and I'll just bend it. See, I just popped the bumper off. See, those are the things you got to be prepared for. But I think I straightened this up a little bit, and all I'm doing is I'm just pushing in on the cab and the bed to try to tweak it. Now I know you can't tell it there, but I have moved it a little bit, but it's just not enough. So that didn't work. All I did was tear the bumper off. I needed to fix that anyway. So the next option is going to be to drill this thing out and then glue it all back together. So let's set this over here. We'll do them both together at the same time. Now this Dodge, I've had it hanging on the wall for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now. Maybe not that long. But it's tweaked a little bit also, but it's not tweaked as bad as the other one. But we're going to pull it out of the package and we're going to go ahead and straighten it up too. Now I don't normally have this issue with Auto World and M2. It's mostly the Greenlight trucks. As you can see, the bed down here sticks down a little bit further than the cab, and as you can see, it's tweaked downwards. Normally they're tweaked, about tweaked the same way. But anyway, this one has a metal bottom. You're not going to do that trick with this. That's just not going to work. So we're just going to drill them apart and glue them back together. That's the only way I know how to fix them. So let's get started here. Can I just kind of drill them out? Nice, easy, and slow. This being a metal bottom, it goes a little faster and easier than the plastic bottom trucks. This one, that rivet's just barely even on there. I don't know if you can tell it, but they half stamped it. So we'll drill that out. And one more little shot. That one's good. Now we'll get this middle one. Okay, now that's not all we have to do. There's also 2 rivets up here on the cab and the bed. Now again, sometimes you can tweak it. You can see if you can tell I'm moving it or not. I don't know if you can see that I'm moving it. Sometimes you can do that. See, I'm already tweaking on the bumper. But in order to get it to where it's going to stay for sure, you need to drill these out. So let's drill these out too. Okay, is that enough? That's enough. So now we are completely apart. Now you have to do, guys and gals, just glue this thing back together. You just get it all straightened up. See, now we have plenty of movement. Maybe you can't tell. See all the movement in there? So now we got plenty of movement. You can put it where you want it. Now what I do is not only do I put some glue on these two tabs right here, but I also put a little dab of glue between the bed and the cab itself, so that when it does go back together, it holds it nice and solid and tight and it won't move again. So there's how we're going to do that one. Now let's get this Black Bandit version apart that I've already broke the bumper off of, but it doesn't matter. It came with a broken window or a broken mirror. So these plastic ones, like I said, you got to go a little slower with these because the drill bit will walk on this plastic. That one's off. I'll pop the front of this one. Now I know Greenlight has done some changing to their trucks, that they're doing different rivets. I've got a couple already. They seem to be working better, but they are still a little crooked sometimes. But this, you can use the same method to fix them. So all I'm doing is drilling these rivets up. Okay, got that all apart. Now when we put it back together, snap it all back together, you can see we got plenty of movement here. We can glue it back together the way we want. I'm going to have to drill that out a little more. That rivet doesn't want to go back in there. There it goes. There she snapped in. So now I can put the bed anywhere I want it, and we'll be back in business. We are a little off here. So what you may want to do there is grind down on the top of this flat tab here. You grind that down some, what will happen is your bed will come down now. Or you may have to just do a lot of hacking and grinding to get that to fit. This one's being stubborn. As you can see, the bottom is definitely not lining up. So you just have to do a lot of sanding and grinding and filing. This flat tab here, just start sanding the crap out of it. And then once you get it down to where you want it, just glue it all back together. It's that simple and easy. So let's glue the orange one, the red one back together for now, because this black one's going to take more hacking. Plus there's a lot more I want to do to this truck. I got to fix the bumper and got to get a new mirror for it. And then I might do something else with that truck. We're not sure. Let me clean up my mess here real quick. Good to have one of these little brushes around to clean up your drill bit mess. There we go. Get that all off the table. Alright, guys and gals, let's glue this baby back together. So just take it all apart, which is not hard. Get all the shavings out of there. And you don't have to use as much glue as I do. The reason I use a lot of glue is because I sell a lot of trucks, and the last thing I want to do is to sell a truck and it fall apart on a customer. That's going to make me look bad and feel bad. So I use a lot of glue because I don't want my stuff to come apart. So you don't have to use as much as I do, but like I said, I put the glue to them. We don't want any problems. Now we're going to glue everything back down. And like I said, I'm really good at putting glue in around the interior to glue the interior to the cab. This way it doesn't move around and there's less chance of my truck coming apart. And like I said, guys, I use a lot of glue here. But if any of you guys have bought any of my trucks, that should reassure you that your truck won't come apart. Okay. Now I got a ton of glue down that you can't see. I got a ton of glue down in here. Try to put the glue where it's not going to ooze out and you're not going to see it. Okay. Now I'll put a couple more little dabs on where this front post where the rivet was. And then we'll put a couple little dabs right under the seats just to make sure that everything gets held together nice and tightly. So now turn this truck around, stick it on there, and there's the cab. Now put it where you can see it again. Get some more glue here. Oh, got an air bubble. Like I said, I'm going to put some on the tabs that come out from the back of the cab. And I want to put a little dab on the back of the cab itself. So that when I do put all this back together and put the cab and the bed together, you don't have to worry about them ever coming back apart. Okay. So I think we're pretty much good there. Put a touch of glue on the bottom of this bed just to make sure everything touches. Yep. Don't want to put it down the other way. It'd be glue everywhere. Okay, last dab of glue. I'm going to wipe off my toothpick. I just broke it. And we just line the bed up. Stick it down on the truck. As you can see, we're all lined up there. Try to get the bed, the bottom of the bed, the cab, lined up flush. And there we are. It's all back together. Everything's straight. Now all you have to do, guys and gals, just let this thing sit and dry for a little while. And you'll be in good shape. Every once in a while, you might want to take a look at it, you know, just to make sure that it's not trying to tweak on you. For some reason, the glue that I use Seal All, contact adhesive. Every once in a while, as it starts to dry and the glue starts to shrink up, it'll twist the truck a little bit. I have that problem on mirrors. It'll try to move my mirrors once in a while. So every once in a while, you just got to look at it. Make sure that it's nice and straight. And everything's good. See, the gap is all nice and straight now. We're in good shape. That turned out perfect. And it was an easy project to do, guys. So you get a chance to try that, go ahead. The Black Bandit version, I'm not going to put it back together right now. I'm going to maybe come up with another idea for that truck. So I'm not going to glue it back together until it's done. So anyway, hope y'all like this one. If you do, think about liking, subscribing. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on eBay. All that information's in the description below. Don't forget to come back, y'all. Bye now.